This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.
Aloha and welcome to another edition of HNN Overtime, the Hawaii News Now sports podcast. I am Kyle Chinen, joined as always by Davis Pitner, and look who's back.
Oh, she's back. She's back.
Cienna Pilotin.
Good to be back with you guys.
She is back from the big game, the
Yes.
Super Bowl.
I have lots to share with you
my
both.
Lots to share.
gosh.
And it was an exciting weekend over on the 9th Island. But
Yes.
I want to make it quick. We're going to dive right into this. There's
Going straight in.
Another big game. Speaking of big
What do we
games,
got, Kyle?
we have Beeman's Big Bash.
Beeman's Big Bash.
Yes,
Okay.
it is the Rainbow Wahine basketball team. They are taking on UC Santa Barbara tomorrow, and it's called Beeman's Big Bash because they're trying to do something that's never been done before. They're trying to have the largest attendance figure in head coach Laura Beeman's 12-year career as the head coach of the Rainbow Wahine. So that's tomorrow, February 17th at Simplify Arena. So her biggest night crowd was 4,340. So they're trying to break that. And another fun fact: the largest attendance game was back in 6,192. So they're trying to beat that. So
Wow.
we'll see.
That is pretty cool. I went to one of their games recently, and they're a good team.
They're
They're
really
a
good.
solid
They're really
team
good.
this year. Like, I was really impressed.
Last night they beat Cal Poly, which solidified their spot in the Big West tournament. So they're trying to go back to back to back 3 times. So like they're trying to get that three-peat.
Three-peat.
I want to
That's
say I always
impressive.
use this footage though because I love their throwbacks.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah,
love
those
it.
are
It's
those
so
are
good.
nice
Throwbacks.
uniforms.
They're
Yeah.
so good. But yeah, go support the Bows. And I think students get free hot dogs.
What?
Oh, free hot dogs.
Beeman was on
See,
Sunrise this morning.
I would go without the hot dogs, but I mean,
just sealed it.
that seals it right there. Like,
I
how do you
mean,
not go now?
Yeah, how do you not go? Like, I know if you're a college kid that's like, man, I've had ramen noodles for the last 5 days. Let me just get a Warrior dog. I need a Warrior dog right now, and they're free. So go support them. They deserve it. They're a great team, and it's going to be a fun night against a really good team in UC Santa Barbara. Yeah, go support the Bows. But now we should pivot to the other big game,
Yes.
the Super Bowl 58.
What a game,
Man,
guys.
what a
I didn't
long
expect
night
that to go
on
into
Crazy.
overtime.
Me
That was
neither.
We never
was
get
crazy.
overtime in the Super Bowl. So
no,
this is
never.
Second time.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Obviously, Kyle and I just watched it
Here.
but Cienna, firsthand experience just being in that environment
Being in
over
Vegas,
there,
yes.
being in Vegas.
Oh man.
I
it
mean,
was
like
great.
even seeing it from the outside with like
Yeah.
just
The
the
lights.
the
Yeah.
lights and everything.
Everything.
You gotta give us a look. Like, what was it like?
It was the greatest experience. And I'm not just saying that because my Chiefs won. It's just the way they did it. It was so Vegas. Usher was amazing. Just the crowd, like the game was, in the beginning, obviously the first half wasn't that great football-wise. And everyone was like, oh, it's going to be a really boring, like 3 to like
Right,
10
right.
type of game.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
for a while it was. And once it started to pick up and the crowd got involved, I mean, it was both sides. Like Lynn and I were sitting in the middle of a Chiefs fan and then a 49ers fan, and it was getting heated. Like, we were like, uh-oh. But it was in the best way possible. Like, that's what football is all about. They were just so dedicated. You had fans from all over the world. There were guys sitting around us that were, like, from Spain, and they
Wow.
love football as much
That's
as
so
we
crazy.
do. It was so crazy. And then, obviously, Usher, amazing. Now, I
Usher,
know,
baby.
like, I know people on social media had mixed feelings about it. I guess it sounded different watching it on TV, but in person, he killed it.
I thought it was
He could
great.
Sang, he could dance. The dance, like, it was so Vegas show. I loved it. It was so great.
I thought the show was fine.
I thought
The
it was
halftime show.
fine
Yeah.
too. from like watching it on TV, I thought it was a little slow at the start, but like
bit.
at the end they really picked it up, and then they got it going.
I'm glad he ended with yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You have to.
have
I
to.
think that's what everyone was waiting for.
Right.
At
I
least
think a lot
that's
of
like.
people also too were waiting for Justin Bieber to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the controversial thing. There were a lot of girls in the stadium dressed in purple, like honestly,
Oh,
and like
okay.
you know
Alright.
they wanted Justin Bieber, and he was there with Haley. He just
Right.
wasn't there to perform.
Yeah,
He was just there
But
supporting.
I thought Lil Jon, Alicia Keys, and Ludacris, that was great.
Yeah.
Like it was an exceptional halftime
That
show.
was that looked so much fun, and I want to get your reaction.
Okay.
Speaking of fun, I know it was probably a roller coaster for you and fellow Chiefs fan Lynn
man.
Kawano.
Oh, it was rough, you guys.
But you know, overtime, new rules. Both teams get the
Yeah.
ball.
Which
So-
the Niners didn't.
Yeah.
yeah,
they
okay,
didn't
so
know.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that either, and
Yeah,
not
I
to
didn't
say
know.
that I'm part of the
You had the
Niners team.
headset on.
Yeah, not to know, which was
Yeah.
shocking because Kyle Shanahan is such a good coach that prepares for
he's a
anything.
preparer,
I'm
yeah.
so surprised that he, not to hate on like Dan Campbell or anything, but there's coaches out there that you'd expect not to know the new rules. And Kyle Shanahan's just not one of them. So that was shocking. I didn't know the new rules either. So while overtime was happening, the coin toss happened, and Lynn was telling me, she's like, no, I think this is good. Like, this helps us. And I thought it was the old rules and was like, no, like, we're done. This is over. We're done.
they
They're going to
scored
go
the-
down,
Yeah,
score,
yeah.
and we're done. And so I just got to stop watching. Like, I honestly missed the whole fourth and overtime because I was just like, it's done. Like, we're going to lose. I totally completely turned around, and Lynn had to update me on every drive. And turns out I was wrong. They did change the rules. I didn't even know when that happened.
I think this is the first playoffs they've done it.
Yeah.
Because we've never had an overtime
Right,
game,
right,
right?
right.
This whole time. And even in this whole season, there hasn't been much
There
overtime.
haven't been much, yeah,
Yeah,
no.
so I guess nobody really knew what was going on.
They even
and-
had those clips too from like on the field. You
Yeah,
know, they
the
like
mic
mic
up.
up
Yeah.
players, and like
Yes.
none of the Niners knew. They
No,
they
and
didn't know about
a
the
lot
rule.
of the Chiefs players were like, we rehearsed this. Like, they knew exactly what they were going to do. So the fact that the Niners decided to take the ball, the Chiefs were like, oh my gosh. Like,
They're like,
it's ours to win it
Yeah.
now.
Like
Yeah.
if we won the toss, we were gonna kick it
Yes.
anyways. Like,
Yes.
that's just crazy. Yeah, to your point, it's crazy that Kyle Shanahan, who's known to be like one of those cerebral guys
genius.
and those offensive minds that kind of knows the game in like a Mike McDaniel, like one of those NFL
Yes.
nerds that they're being called, to not have their team prepared and being like, oh yeah, we get the ball, we're gonna score and win, and then you see those mic'd up clips of Juszczyk going,
Yeah.
if we score, they still get the ball. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or like Travis Kelce being like, yeah, we want him to have it. We
Yeah.
want him to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were shocked.
Oh, what
so
was-
it
yeah.
was kind of controversial.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, yeah, man, you gotta know the rules. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Play
just
by the
saying that
rules,
as a Chiefs fan. If my team didn't know, I'd be very upset because
Yeah.
that changes the whole game.
Yeah.
Your whole strategy is different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
What's it called? Speaking of those mic'd up, I watched the the one the NFL put out the
Yeah.
other day, and they mic'd up the refs too, and they're like, "You're gonna give Mahomes the ball second?" Like,
They were shocked. Yeah.
I love it when they do that.
yeah,
They
it's
mic
so
up the
fun.
officials.
Yeah. What was your reaction to Travis Kelce getting in Andy Reid's face and almost knocking him
Okay,
over?
Yeah, that was crazy.
that was, so I get it that this is the biggest game.
Right.
Everything's on the line. But I was like, it's a lot. Like, that's
Right.
kind of a
Yeah.
lot for me. And I know people had mixed feelings about it. It was just Andy Reid, man,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
seen it
Yeah,
all, so
yeah.
it's like that doesn't faze him. And obviously, from an outsider's perspective, a lot of people who don't watch football were
yeah.
very shocked by that.
Right.
And I get it, like, tensions are high, but I was like, ooh, that's, especially so early. If
Yeah.
you did that in the
Yeah,
fourth
yeah.
quarter, maybe we're down 3 points and we can't convert to first down, then I get it. You go up
Right,
to him and you
right.
get in his face
Like,
and
give
you're
me the
like,
ball.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what is our game plan here? But to do it in the first half, I was like, well, there's a lot of football to be played. Like, obviously you don't want to waste time, but it was very dramatic so early on.
It was
That
pretty
Yeah,
dramatic.
it was pretty
Yeah.
dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
What?
No. I was
Oh.
like, I think a lot of the Swifties were like, look at how he's treating Andy Reid.
Oh
you
my
think he's gonna treat Taylor like that?
God.
I'm like, okay.
A lot of the
Relax.
it's shocking to people.
Yeah,
like
it
it's
is.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like how the game goes, yes, but like from an outsider's perspective, it's like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
because they see Andy as an old man, like,
Yeah, sweet
they
old
see
man.
him as grandpa, and like he's not gonna fight back.
Right. But they hugged and made up at the
Oh
end.
yeah,
They did, yeah.
all as well, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you don't really do, and I like the whole the outsider's perspective too. I mean, it's something that kind of like makes sense in a way too, just because it is an intense game and emotions are high. So it's something that you could probably expect is going to happen in that situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty crazy video to see.
I love the captions that have made the rounds on the internet. It's like the caption of like, what is Travis saying to Andy Reid? He's like, hey, yo, my girl's here. Give me the ball.
Yeah, no, the Twitter was having a field day, which is everything on the Super Bowl.
The
I don't
internet,
think
yeah.
I've ever laughed so hard. But
Yeah.
a lot of them, I know in our group chat, Kaylin had sent about like arguing for Justin Bieber to come. Like,
where's Justin?
Yeah, that was really good.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers. from the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I was just gonna. Yeah.
You
So I
wanna do
mean,
that?
I
Go ahead,
Okay.
Davis.
Well,
Tell
I
us,
was
Davis.
I was rooting for the Niners.
Yeah.
Obviously, and once again, my picks are always wrong. So,
Oh.
Sienna's her picks seem to be
She's
always
undefeated
right.
right now.
She's
I
undefeated.
mean,
She's
what
undefeated
can I
in the
say?
She is
playoffs.
undefeated again, but I think a big reason why Mahomes he just outdid everything.
Yeah.
He completely beat Purdy, which was just kind of crazy. Just taking a look at it, Brock was 23 for 38 for 255 yards and 1 touchdown. He had to give it to his playmakers, and his main playmaker obviously was Christian McCaffrey. He was the leader in both rushing and receiving. Christian had 22 carries for 80 yards and then 8 receptions for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, meanwhile, he just completely beat everything. He also was obviously phenomenal at throwing the ball, 34 for 46 for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception, but then he also led rushing with 9 carries and 66 yards. Majority of those receptions were caught by the one and only Travis Kelce, of course, his number 1 target for 9 receptions and 93 yards. Those are the stats.
And then that one, that I think his biggest reception of the game was back in the fourth quarter, right, to get him into field goal range.
Yeah.
He didn't need to score. And I will say, speaking of weapons, it didn't seem like they were using Deebo Samuel the way that they usually
They didn't. They
He was
did.
quiet.
And was it because they were shutting him down, or was it?
I mean,
like,
I feel like all their receivers got shut down.
Right.
Kittle was pretty much a non-factor.
Right.
Ayuk got a couple, but I mean, we took them pretty much out of the game. It was really just a McCaffrey.
It was a McCaffrey
night.
show. Yeah, it really was. One player that did come out of nowhere was Jennings on the
Yeah.
Niners.
Jawan Jennings.
He did have a decent game. He had some really big catches.
Yep. A touchdown,
A touchdown, and I mean, other than that, it was really just Christian McCaffrey
Yeah.
versus the Chiefs defense.
I think that's what happens when the Chiefs key in so much on Deebo, Kittle, and McCaffrey. You get opening and Ayuk.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You kind of open up some opportunities for guys like Jawan Jennings or someone that they're not necessarily keying in on. But I mean, their first score was that trick play that.
Yeah, I was not
Yeah,
expecting
that was
that. That was a
crazy.
little
Yeah.
Shanahan magic right
Yeah.
there.
All right, that's what we're doing in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. But yeah, and then shout out to the special teams, because for a big part of the game,
Oh yeah.
your boy Harrison Butker has the longest field goal in Super Bowl history.
Both
yeah,
kickers
and
were
Moody.
were
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. Shout out to special teams, and the Chiefs special teams came up real big in the third quarter to get that turnover.
Yep.
So close to our own end zone, and so it's just that would kind of change the game. I think honestly.
And what a freak play, because it hit the guy's
Yeah.
foot,
Oh,
so he
yeah,
had to
yeah,
go
yeah.
for it. He's like,
That was
oh,
crazy.
I touched my guy, I gotta grab the ball, and then, man, crazy.
I was really impressed by the defense, though.
Yeah.
Like the first half, that was a back and forth thing. Offenses couldn't get it going on either team, and it was just impressive to see. I mean, just both teams going at it with each other.
And with the Niners down one of their best linebackers, that was a freak play
Yeah,
too.
that
Yeah, that was.
I mean, thoughts and prayers to him. Tearing his Achilles running onto the field. That's crazy. But Yeah, I mean, the defense for the Chiefs definitely stepped up against an offense that I think would scare a lot of other teams.
Yeah, they were great. Our, our corners, they did their job. Our line, Chris Jones, like the Chiefs.
Chris Jones is a beast.
He's amazing.
He is, yeah.
It's
he
just
really
so
is.
crazy because to think that he started the season watching in the box because of the whole contract controversy and to winning a Super Bowl, like. It's just, you can't make it up. It's just so good.
Yeah.
And, like, for the secondary to step up like that, I mean, I think a lot of people were questioning guys like, Justin Reed and Snead and all those guys.
Shout out to Snead. So that's why
I brought it up.
So shout out to those guys. So actually, I think it was Wednesday, they had the media day, and I was starstruck like no other. So first of all,
oh my God.
No, but so first Mahomes comes out, and I just kind of stopped breathing. But I was like, I'm just gonna play it cool, whatever.
Someone get her inhaler.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mahomes was like, that was like shocking to me, and after that, they had a bunch of other guys at different tables. You could just go up and talk to them. So obviously Mahomes had like 50 people waiting for him, and everyone's like shoving their way into so Lynn and Peter kind of stayed with him. I was like, let me just wander, see who else I could talk to. So we talked to a bunch of guys, Harrison Butker, Trent McDuffie, all those guys, and so we get to L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of like, I asked him, so we kind of wanted to talk about Marcus Kemp.
Right. That was a great story,
pros.
by the way.
Yeah,
so that was our one Hawaii tie-ish, even if he wasn't currently on the team, but just that he played multiple Super Bowls with these guys. So we were like, let's do our package on that. And so we were kind of going around to each. We talked to Chris Jones, we talked to Harrison Butker, just tell us about playing with Marcus Kemp.
Right.
And so I go up to Snead, and I was like, so we're from Honolulu, Hawaii. Yeah. And he goes, aloha.
I saw that on your TikTok.
And then I keep talking, and I'm like, so we just want to talk about Marcus Kemp. And he goes, aloha, like 3 times. I'm like, let me just get to my question.
Yeah.
But shout out to him.
We get it. We're from Hawaii.
Awesome. Yeah. And so if you want to watch that video, it's on my Twitter. And in fact, he followed me afterwards. So shout out to you.
There we go.
Yeah.
But just seeing you go, like, you guys were like right there.
Oh, we were right there. It was crazy to the point that I was at one point walking next to Trent McDuffie, and I realized we're the same height.
Oh.
Like, in fact, Lynn actually thought that he was like a guy wearing a jersey. Like he was like a fan.
Yeah, just a fan.
And I was like, no, that's Trent McDuffie.
That's Trent McDuffie.
Yeah, and he ended up having a great game in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. But yeah, that was one of the coolest moments, I think.
We were talking about it last podcast too, about like just hearing about what you guys are going through. And it was just funny to me that, there was obviously a lot of people around Patrick Mahomes, but around Kelsey, though.
Tell us about Kelsey.
It seemed like there was 10 times more,
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy. So the way they did it is the first media day was Monday, and that's when they had Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid at the podium.
Right.
And then they had a bunch of little tables set up, and Kelsey was on one of those little tables. Well, by the time we got there on Wednesday, they switched it. So Mahomes was on the free-for-all, and Kelsey was on the big podium. So that room with Kelsey and Reid in it was shoulder. I could not get in.
Wow.
Like everyone, it was like,
oh my God,
maybe 70 people like in a room just lined up with the cameras. Everyone's holding mics, and so I couldn't squeeze my way in. So I had to wait on the outside for Mahomes, which that still had a lot of people, but it was a huge auditorium.
Right.
So we could kind of extend as big as possible.
Right.
In that room, there was only so much room for people.
Yeah.
So everyone wanted to talk to Travis Kelce, and everyone had like one question each kind of, and then you ask your question, you leave. And I know an LA station asked to fill in the blank.
Oh no.
Karma is the guy on the blank, and he literally goes, Chiefs. Like
he probably is so sick of it.
So bad.
It's like crazy because everyone's like, so tell us about your game plan. Like, how has the week of preparation been? Like, this is the biggest game. And that's the one question they go for. I can't blame them. They're an LA station. That's probably the only thing. It might be like a Hollywood type. So it was just funny, though, that the range
it's
of
just
questions.
like it's just so funny to me because probably if he wasn't dating Taylor Swift, I feel like everyone would be around like Patrick Mahomes, right? It's always the quarterback.
100%.
It's always the quarterback you want to go interview and everything, but because of this whole thing with Taylor, it's like everyone wants to go get a comment from Travis, which is just so funny to me.
It's so crazy. Yeah, most of the questions, I'd say about half that he got asked were about her and the relationship and just like, do you think it'll play a hindrance?
I'm not surprised.
You know,
oh my
just
God.
stuff like that. Rather than when people were asking, I think I told you guys in our group chat that this one Spanish station that they asked Patrick Mahomes if he likes hard shell tacos or soft shell tacos. And that I've never heard him elaborate more. He went for like 2 minutes on the fact that he's like, depends on what I'm feeling, you know. Sometimes I like and it was just so good because, you know, most people were talking about game plans and people even brought up the Swift and if that's going to cause a controversy for them, and that soft shell taco question just
it's probably just such a nice relief for him to not talk about football for a little bit.
He's just such a nice guy.
I
act like I know I act like I know these people, but he's just such a genuine
rubbing shoulders.
Yeah, you were right there.
He answered everyone's questions because for a while I was like, he's gonna come out, answer 4 questions and be like, hey, enough guys. But he maybe answered 25 questions.
Wow.
Like, he stood
That's pretty
there
good.
and answered almost everybody's.
He's a true pro. Yeah, he's a true pro.
He gets it.
Yeah.
And he's just a nice guy. Like, people were asking some crazy stuff. And he was just like, you know, he took the time to answer each question.
I just think
pretty cool.
I just found it really cool and like it's like a Where's Waldo, like watching other like national outlets interviews and then like, oh look, it's Peter.
Yeah.
And then like I see the top of Lynn and Cienna, like, is that black hair? Cienna, Lynn.
We've seen like Casey front row too.
Yeah, I saw Casey,
there was a picture of that.
And Steve and like, oh, there they are. There they are. So I thought that was pretty cool.
One thing too that I wanted to, aside from all, like that I wanted to hit on, Lahaina Luna too.
Oh,
that was
such
a cool thing.
So cool.
Yeah, we got some video from people that sent it in. I mean, we saw it on TV, but what was it like?
Oh, there was not a dry eye in the stadium, you guys. It was so touching and moving. I was in tears. Like, everyone was in tears. And just, especially seeing these guys from their first game of the season, which Kyle covered, to walking out on the field and that tribute video with Mark, like, everyone was in tears. I just could not stop crying. And just a big shout out to them. They deserve it. This whole week that they spent covering it, covering the game, and to be out there on the field, like, just what a moment. They'll never forget that.
Super special. And like, I mean, we posted it to socials, and shout out John Conrad. He's the AD. I've worked a lot with him this past year.
That was awesome. Great video. I'm so happy he took that.
He's awesome. He's the man. But no, the reception that it got on social media was amazing, and it was super cool. Like, even us back at the station, I was like,
they so deserve it too.
They deserve it.
I said it last episode, and it just rang true. I mean, this just helps, you know, the healing process. I mean, this means so much for the entire community there. Just everything that they went through. I mean, this is something that they're not going to forget for the rest of their lives.
Right. And I back to kind of a football side of things, I think next year is going to be the year of the Lunas.
Yeah.
Oh, you think?
Mark my words. I'm going to put it down right now on the record. D1 state champions.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, Waipahu. I know you guys are the boys and the reigning champs, but look out for the boys from West Maui. Like,
I could see it.
They're coming. They were really good last season too.
Crazy story. Yeah, they were.
But nah, man. I was definitely misty-eyed. In the sports corner.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the dust that is around my room.
Or from like everything in the conference room.
Yeah.
we had so much food.
Aww,
we had so much food. It was this giant potluck. You brought the spinach.
No, I did fried rice.
Ooh.
The fried rice, that's right.
I forgot it. So HNN had the reporters and anchors like have a little contest with like our Super Bowl recipes. I made it look like a college TikToker in his dorm room, and it was literally only thing you had to do was prep like the frozen spinach, and I made spinach dip.
Oh.
And it was actually really easy.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
It's just cream cheese, sour cream, ranch seasoning, and then the frozen spinach. You mix it.
Yeah.
And it was actually pretty good, but I forgot to bring it for the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I
But
voted for you on that video.
thank you. Jen Robbins, first floor chief meteorologist Jen Robbins, she won
Good for
by
her.
a landslide.
She did. Yeah,
Jennifer.
she did.
And then Mark Carpenter just decided to be an Iron Chef and make a ribeye steak.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Him and Jen had the most elaborate
Right?
videos. Like, it was clear that Jen was gonna win though, because she had graphics, she had music, she had
grandma.
grandma,
Oh,
she
yeah,
had
grandma.
everything.
Everything.
in that video. Go check it out if you guys have not
is
seen
it
it.
still on our social?
It still is on our
Yeah,
social.
go check
And
that
Kyle
out.
Chinen's one too, if you want
Yeah.
to learn how to make spinach
4
dip.
steps.
4 steps.
4 steps. Jolani's was really good too. She had a
Jolani's
lot
was
of
good, yeah.
49ers puns in it. She's
She
like,
did.
what? Like a kittle bit of water?
A kittle bit of, yeah,
Oh
I like
my
that.
goodness.
Yeah. She
That
was
was
she
pretty
was like
good.
adorable doing that. But yeah, what was the food like? Speaking of food.
Oh, yeah.
What was the food like in the stadium and also just around Vegas?
Okay, so the food in Vegas, amazing. I mean, we went to Chipotle 3 times.
Yep.
And we. Oh.
Cienna, you know I had to do it. I had to do it.
Thank you. No, I'm glad you did. So the food's great. We went in and out like 4 times. Like
Yep.
we did our, usual. The media food was not great. And so if the NFL is
Interesting.
watching
Yeah.
this, and the
I
thing
think,
is,
yeah.
so Lynn, Steve, they all went, oh.
Yay!
Don't worry, those are the only 2 I found.
I love how the caption, you're like, don't worry, it wasn't intentional that I
I
blocked the
promise it
logo."
wasn't. It did spark some controversy. I had a lot of people flood my DMs like, how rude. But hey, and I'm like kind of in the 49ers maroon there, so
Sorta, yeah.
Yeah,
kinda.
A
kind
little
of.
bit. Just like how you were covering the Niners symbol.
Okay, so yeah, the media food wasn't great. So Lynn and Steve, they went to the LA Super Bowl at SoFi, and they said the food was amazing. They
Right.
were just constantly bringing out food. And so we're like, oh my gosh, like
You're
I
so
didn't
excited.
eat before
Yeah.
because I
Right.
was like, we're gonna go and
Media
get fed,
food,
like
yep.
it's free, why not? And so we get there and they give out these little like lunch boxes and they're just like sandwich and wraps and they weren't even really good. No offense to them, like, but it was just kind of like, come on. So at first we're like, okay, this is the lunch portion. Maybe dinner will
Dinner,
be like
they go
hot.
all
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, dinner
we're
they
like, okay,
go.
dinner. They didn't. Dinner was like these weird hamburgers. I think Peter or
Casey
Casey put
sent-
it in
Oh,
general
yeah,
or
Casey
put it in
sent
our
that,
Slack.
yeah.
It was just like weird. It almost looked like fake meat.
Like gray.
It was like
Yeah.
So I didn't eat any of that. We went to In-N-Out after, but it was just very
Oh,
disappointing
yeah.
because I heard a lot of people complained. A lot of the media complained last year when it was in Arizona. They said the
Oh.
food was really bad, and they complained to the NFL and was just like, do better. So they were hoping this year would be better, and it wasn't.
Oh.
So
It's always
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, I want to say though, when Davis and I went
I was
to
just gonna
the-
mention
to
that.
the Raiders
yeah.
Chiefs game,
they got y'all
it was
good.
pretty good.
The food actually was pretty
It was
good.
like pulled pork sandwiches
See?
and
Yeah.
like baked beans and
I was impressed.
I
I
was
was like,
impressed
this
too.
is some good
And
food.
that's what I was thinking too, because at UNLV, when I covered the Mountain West basketball
Basketball, right.
tournament, the food was great. So I was assuming it'd be kind of the same
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
But I know Lynn was saying that it's really up to the owner, the host team's owner, and you know Mark Davis ain't putting it down like that.
especially because it's the Niners and the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know he's not
If it were the Raiders on the
Yeah.
other
bare
hand,
minimum, which was sad though because we like a lot of people just ended up buying food and it was
Right.
very expensive.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can't remember. Did they feed us at the UNLV football game?
No,
They didn't,
I don't
right?
think.
Really?
Maybe we
Yeah.
had like some granola bars or like.
I think they had like
I don't
little
know.
snacks, but
I think they
don't-
had little snacks,
I
but
don't-
not a
I
full-on
mean, we were all
meal.
there. I just don't remember us actually like sitting down and eating before the game.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they
Yeah, it
don't
was
do
really
like
just
they-
the
like
meal
like
for-
the Raiders did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good. I'm surprised that the
It was
media
very
food was-
disappointing, but yeah, I mean, you can't complain because they still gave us food, but
Oh,
it was
yeah.
everyone was just buying at that point,
Right,
and it was
right.
like $16 for a hot dog.
Oh jeez.
and but yeah, it
Jeez.
was a lot of fun.
Those lunchbox sound like. Remember when we were in LA?
Yeah.
For the men's volleyball tournament, and so this was kind of like still COVID
Mm.
kind of time. So they just gave us these lunch boxes that came with like sandwiches,
Yeah,
chips, and
Yeah.
a cookie or whatever. They were
That was
That's kinda
pretty
what ours
good.
was.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a great sandwich, but I'm not. I mean, for lunch, I'll take it.
right. Especially like
yeah.
most like media things like covering, they only give you like one meal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that the NFL wouldn't shell it out for you guys for dinner, but
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis, what are we doing? Spending too much money on his haircut.
I guess so.
And
Probably.
Antonio Pierce, I don't know what his needs are. They got a new head coach. They got it all figured out. But
Yeah. Well, that sounds crazy, though.
I mean, yeah.
And what's even crazier, Kyle?
What?
The numbers.
Yeah, give us the
of
numbers.
the people that watch
Talk
the
to
Super
us.
Bowl. This is going all over the internet, but
Talk to him.
the amount of people that watched the Super Bowl it's historical. It broke every record.
Oh. Tell
us.
So I got the stats, everyone.
There it is.
I got
He
the
does.
stats, everyone. Once again. So just reading it. Forgive me for looking down. So the Super Bowl, according to the NFL operations, guys, it averaged 123.4
Jeez.
million
Wow.
viewers across all platforms. That's 7% more than last year.
Wow.
Wow.
And it had more than 200 million viewers that watched all or part of the Super Bowl. So those are the people that probably just wanted to watch the halftime
Right?
show
Yes.
or just wanted to watch the commercials and
Mm-hmm.
then we're like, football isn't my thing. So
Which, yeah, that's fine. That's crazy.
We need a breakdown of how many people watched it on Nickelodeon. Because did you see
Oh,
those
yeah.
clips?
Yes.
So
I
it was-
like
How could you
It
take
was
that seriously?
it was Noah Eagle, Nate Burleson, and then SpongeBob and Patrick.
I love
Which
Patrick every
which I
year.
think is better than Jim Nance and Tony Romo.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not mad at that crew. It was just like seeing the visuals was hilarious.
Crazy.
But also the amount of time they put into that.
No, yeah,
that's
that's a lot of
no
work.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole football game with
Right,
graphics everywhere.
right.
Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good. Shout out to them.
Yeah, and like
That was
so.
pretty good.
I was watching this behind the scene because me, I follow SpongeBob on Instagram because who doesn't?
Yeah, of course.
But
Rightfully.
like, I mean, it was kind of cool because like the animation of SpongeBob and Patrick was happening in real time. They had like the motion
Yeah,
capture like
yeah,
suits
yeah.
on the actors. So like I thought that was like just really cool that they were able to do that live. And
Yeah.
Sandy Cheeks is the sideline
Yes,
reporter.
I saw a tweet that was literally like women in sports.
Women
Like-
in sports. Shout out Sandy Cheeks.
I just like how they explain everything.
Yeah, I think
They're
it's great
like,
for kids.
It is.
Oh, it's
It
great
is.
for kids. Yeah, I just thought it was really funny. I just love Patrick.
Oh,
just
when-
describing
when,
everything.
When Christian McCaffrey fumbled, like he didn't firmly grasp it.
All right, guys. Super Bowl is a big game, but in my opinion, there's a game that's a little bit bigger. And we
What?
seem to talk about it every single year. I'm talking about the Puppy Bowl, everyone.
Ruh-roh.
The Puppy Bowl.
Ruh-roh.
Yes, the Puppy Bowl. Hold on, before I get into the story, here are their top players,
Oh
everyone.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
Wait,
Sure.
can you
Oh,
go
yeah,
back?
let me go back. Let me
to
go-
the Supers.
Yeah,
Travis Clossy and
Taylor
Taylor
Snift.
Snift.
Yeah, you know they had to
That's
do
great.
it 87 and 13. Props
really
to
good.
the Animal Planet for doing that. You have to at this point. You
Yeah.
have to. But star players right there. But let me get straight into this, guys. So historically, or at least recently, it's of course it's Team Fluff versus Team
course.
Rough. And so we talk about them every year.
So
I guess
true.
Team Luff always seems to win, but breaking it down, upset this year.
Oh. Whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
it
whoa,
was
whoa,
the yeah. Look at that.
Maggie.
Look at that. So this was the 20th year for the Animal Planet show. The defending champs, Team Fluff.
whoa. Streaker.
Oh
It's a
no.
streaker. I didn't
Get
know
him
that
off.
was.
He's banned for life.
I didn't even
No
see-
fun league.
That was so good. Getting back to it.
What's going on?
Dude.
I'm so confused.
This is so adorable.
How do you
Sorry,
ref
that
this game?
was.
Yeah, what are the refs making on this
I
one?
don't know.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, Davis.
All right, no, I could. That was funny. I didn't see the entire B-roll section. All right, so this was the 20th year of the show. The defending champs, Team Fluff, took on Team
Oh.
Rough. Now, here we go. While Team
so high
Fluff.
scoring. 72 points.
We wish.
How did y'all do that?
Okay. Team Fluff. Dude, I'm crying. This is that whole entire.
This
like,
B-roll is crazy.
I can't get over that.
Maggie is going
Maggie,
off.
what are you doing?
Oh, whoa. That's taunting. And the streaker's
Flag
back.
on the play.
Flag on the play for
dude,
sure.
The whole entire streaker is like killing me.
This is comedy gold.
Roger would hate that.
Roger's
Oh my
not
God.
having this next year.
Find. Oh,
Fine.
roughing the
Dying.
passer.
Rough.
Okay, you're
Rough.
roughing
Rough,
the
rough.
passer.
Dude, I'm dying right now. That was so funny. That was so funny. All right, I gotta get this.
You got this.
All right, so Team Fluff took on early 2-touchdown lead. Team Rough recovered though in the fourth quarter to upset Team Fluff. 72-69 is your final score to take home. Ready for it? The Limbarki Trophy.
Oh,
Who's the MVP?
The
Maggie.
it should have been Maggie, but it was instead Moosh.
Moosh.
An Australian Shepherd mix who
Oh.
forced the key turnover
Oh,
in
a
the battle
defensive stud
to
from down under.
dude, I can't with the B-roll. I can't with the B-roll anymore. I was
Oh,
like
it's so
crying, dude. Oh my god, the whole entire streaker thing though. I can't believe Animal Planet bored that. The fact that they
That's so
bored that
funny.
was the best thing.
That is
There's no
so
reason to
funny.
bore it. I'm like, oh my god.
That
All right.
was
That was a lot funnier. I didn't watch the whole B-roll. I had no idea what to expect.
Who knew the Puppy Bowl could get so wild?
Dude,
Yeah.
I feel like it gets wilder every single year. Like last year, I don't remember that.
I mean, I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, I
really,
don't
but-
remember any of it either. Yeah,
Get on those pups.
That was
yeah,
fun.
get on those
That was
pups.
super
That
cute.
made my morning.
That
Yeah.
was a good one. All right, as we're coming down from the buzz of the big
Yes,
game,
yes.
there was another big holiday this past week. I know, Davis, you are celebrating it. I mean, we all did technically, but
Yeah.
it was Valentine's Day, obviously. Did you have a Valentine?
Did I have a Valentine?
Yeah.
Oh, it was hard to. Yes, of course. Yes, wife, Melanie. It was a very, nice and relaxing day.
Good,
You know,
good.
it's a weird.
It's
It's
a
middle in the
Wednesday,
week.
yeah.
It
It's a
is,
middle of the
yeah.
week. It's a weird day, a Wednesday, but we went to our favorite restaurant, Moe's.
I knew it.
And picked it
I
up,
knew it.
and we got
Love
cookie
Moe's.
corner after.
Oh.
And of course, it's her day, so we went back and watched The Bachelor.
Oh.
So
I love
Yeah.
it. That's my perfect
so
night right there.
we had a nice little takeout and Bachelor after.
I love that.
And it's sad
Davis.
because we've been watching The Bachelor so often that now I'm invested.
Oh, you have
I'm
to be.
full
You have
on
to
in
be.
this thing.
Right.
Like I know all the girls' names. I know The Bachelor.
There are two
and
from Hawaii, right?
there are two from Hawaii.
Yeah.
A little bit of drama about one right
Oh,
now.
no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to get like backlash from from Bachelor
From the
fans.
Bachelor fans?
Yeah,
Bachelor
but not a lot of
Nation.
people like one Hawaii girl.
They don't like one?
They don't like one of the
What's her
Hawaii
name?
girls. Her name's Leia.
Oh, Leah?
Le-
Leah?
Leah?
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of drama. Some people say, I'm not saying it, that she is like quote unquote like one of the mean girls.
Oh.
Oh.
She's yeah,
Gas.
Gas.
a little bit of drama in the household with
Oh,
her
no.
and the other girls. Specifically, one
Ooh.
other one. Her name's Maria. This
No,
is
not
sad.
Maria.
This is like,
Maria.
yeah. So
No, I'm invested. I might have to start watching
I'm
the
full
show.
invested.
Ew.
You know who also is invested?
Who?
Kainoa.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Kainoa Enos, because he went to pronounce his last name. Sorry, Kainoa. Speaking fast.
Who'd you
Yeah,
go to school with?
he went to school with Leia.
Really?
No way.
Yeah,
Wait.
he
And
did.
Damien?
Yeah, she is a Damien
girl.
grad.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is why he's watching The Bachelor actually to see how she does.
Does he agree that she was a mean girl back at Damien?
I don't think she was. Yeah, at least what I was
drama.
hearing from
This is more
Kainoa.
The
But
Taylor Swift
I
Travis
know.
Kelce
There's some drama right now. There's some drama with her. The other Hawaii girl though is actually doing very well.
Rachel, right?
Rachel, yeah.
So funny you say that Kainoa knows Leah or Leia.
You know Rachel?
No,
Oh.
I went to college with her best friend.
Oh, okay.
Noelle, they both went to Radford. Shout out Noelle if you're watching this. But yeah, they're like best friends, and I just saw her posting all this like, look at my bestie go, like she's on The Bachelor. So I thought that
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Wow.
But yeah, so
Hawaii represent and
Hawaii's a
the
small island.
and
Yeah.
the Bachelor Joey, who's a professional tennis player.
Didn't he?
He
Yeah.
actually he was over in Kauai,
Oh,
if I remember right,
wow.
for a while.
I heard
Yeah,
about that.
The Bachelor should have just
Wow,
they
I'm
should have just
ready.
filmed it here.
Yeah.
they should have. Yeah, they should have. But
All right.
We'll
Dates
see.
in Milwaukee.
Yeah. They go to my time.
they go to
One
Mai
date.
Tais. Yeah, they take over Mai Tais.
A one-on-one date at Mai Tais with the live band playing. So what do you like to do?
A fight breaks
A
out.
fight breaks out.
Yeah.
The security guards have to break stuff up in the background as they're trying to like. Someone goes to the camera guy. What are you shooting? Like they get so
Yeah.
curious about the camera crew. I love Mai Tais.
What I love about The Bachelor too is they make everything that's not dramatic like dramatic.
With the
So
music and
The
everything.
shaky
dramatic.
camera angle. They
Whoa.
get like the shaky cameras. And they have that intense music. Yeah, they kind of go. I mean, it's reality TV.
It's
I
reality
mean, you
TV,
gotta make it crazy. So
Exciting.
2 Hawaii contestants. We will see how they
Wow,
do.
I'm intrigued.
That we should have a regular segment about The Bachelor every week,
Yeah,
Davis.
you
You
gotta
need to give us
update
the
Yeah,
updates.
give updates. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
every single Tuesday, new episode drops.
Oh.
So
There we go, folks.
So we know where Davis and Mel will be every Tuesday.
Mel,
night.
if you're watching this, you're so proud of me that I'm talking all Bachelor.
That's your man's right
That-
there.
You know,
Ladies, if you wanted to,
To-
you would.
yeah. If your guy doesn't want to watch Bachelor with you, he's not the one.
That's the standard right there.
Clap it up, clap it up. But back to the topic of Valentine's.
Yeah, what were
Day.
we even talking
We're
about?
talking about Valentine's Day.
Yes, Valentine's
But
Day.
yes, I'm so happy that you guys enjoyed. the
Nice relaxing
Valentine's
day. Yes.
I didn't have a Valentine, so I just went home. But
Ladies, if you're
Okay, here we go.
well, wait, Kyle, when you watch The Bachelor?
You know
I mean,
Kyle would watch
I
it on
would-
Yeah,
his own
Kyle
anyway.
would watch The
I'd watch it on
Bachelor.
my
I
own.
could see it.
Like,
yeah.
come on, guys.
Watch party with Kainoa. Yeah.
I'll do it by myself, but no, I'm just kidding, Kainoa. But yeah, I'd watch The Bachelor.
Okay.
I watched not Love Island. What is the one?
Love is
one of the-
Blind.
Maybe.
Love is Blind,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know
watched
all the
some-
reality TV
I've
shows.
watched some
Yeah,
reality
Married
shows
Life.
in my days.
Married hashtag
Um,
married life.
Married
Hashtag
life.
Yeah.
married life. But Valentine's Day, it's also a big day to grab candies. I know we got some sweets in
It
the
is.
office the other day. But some candies are getting really expensive, guys.
Ooh.
Let me
Like
just read. yeah.
what candies, Kyle?
Yeah, tell us.
Let's see here. They include Haribo, Sour Patch Kids, and
What?
Jolly Ranchers. You know the Haribo
Excuse me?
gummy bears. Am I not saying that right? Is it not Haribo?
No, I think. I don't know why it sounds so funny when you say it.
Well, then you have Sour Patch Kids, Sour Hearts. That's the determination of a food and cooking website publisher. Fletcher is a former supermarket industry data analyst. She looked at the cost of a few Valentine's themed candies and compared them to the regular versions. Looking at the price per ounce, they were a hefty premium. So, for example, a 7-ounce Gold Bears Gummy Bears Valentine Heart
You didn't
Box
see.
on
You didn't want to
Walmart.
say the word.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid it now.
It's
Sorry,
in the script.
Haribo Gold Bear Gummy Bear Valentine box priced at $5.97, but a regular 8-ounce
so
bag
expensive.
is half that at just $2.38. So I don't understand it. They just make it into a heart and then they can upcharge you like that.
Those
That's
look
sneaky.
Scary.
Yeah,
I also
that's
don't
that
wanna eat
holiday
black
season right there.
raspberry.
Yeah, why
It
is
just looks
the
like
Black
licorice.
raspberry.
give me the cat that just says Happy Valentine's
I-
Day.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because like it's the holiday, you gotta spend money, get chocolates.
Yeah,
for
that's how
your
they make their
significant
money.
Yeah.
But remember when we were younger and you'd like buy one for almost every person in your class, or at
Right.
least like all your friends?
Yeah.
And they were so cheap.
They were super cheap,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like you'd go around to each person and
then
give
like
them one.
the one you didn't like, you just oops.
Yeah.
I ran out. Sorry.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's not a good thing, guys. Let's keep it the same price. Just because you put a heart on it doesn't mean it needs to be that expensive. But that kind of begs the question, kind of pivoting. I want to ask you guys something. If you guys were to pick your favorite candies, what would be your favorite candy? We can do, if you have like multiple, you can do like your top 3, or if you have your one, you let
I feel
let
like
me
we
know.
talked a lot about this a little bit on Halloween.
Oh, yes.
But I mean, I really like Sour Patch Kids. They're not my favorite. I think our Halloween episode, I said 100 grand
Yeah.
and Twix and stuff.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about like this particularly, every flight that I go on, I have to have Sour Patch Kids.
Oh,
Yep.
It's like my staple. I just go to the store beforehand and
It's
buy
a go-to.
lunch.
that is
Yeah.
a good one. Davis?
So little story with this one too.
Oh,
It's also Sour Patch Kids.
Okay.
Oh,
So this this is a funny. You guys are just learning more about me.
I love the Davis
so
sharing.
Me
circle.
this is today's Davis sharing moment.
tell
Okay.
us.
Okay, first girl I liked, elementary school, right? Elementary school. I still remember her name. I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but I still remember it. And I was super young in elementary school. I forgot what grade I was, but I told my mom, I'm like, hey, I really like this girl. I want to get her some Sour Patch Kids. I want to get her some sour
That's
candy.
sweet.
Like super. So we went to the store. I got this like bag of Sour Patch Kids, this candy, and I go up to her the next day. I'm like,
Uh-oh.
hey, here, like, I like you. I wanted to give this to you. Her response was, I don't like sour candy.
Oh.
And then she walked away.
That's
So I was
mean.
heartbroken. I was
No.
heartbroken that day.
That's rude.
That did not stop my love, though, of Sour Patch Kids. But that,
Davis, I'm
That was
sorry.
a,
Girls can be
Davis.
mean.
Girls are
some girl, elementary school too. That was devastating
Maybe she
back
was
in the
scared.
day.
That's devastating.
That
It was
is
devastating. Yeah, I mean,
devastating.
like, what a diss too. Like, I don't like Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
And then she just walks away. I mean,
not
that's-
even a courtesy like, oh, thank
See,
you.
that is
Yeah.
that is a mean girl right
That's
there.
mean.
That's a
I don't-
mean girl.
I don't like her.
She's
Yeah.
getting voted
Don't
off
like
the
her
island.
either.
Yeah, she gotta
Right?
go.
She's
Yeah.
getting voted off. She does
Yeah.
not get a rose.
No rose.
Yeah, no rose.
And if you're
Aw.
listening, he turned out just fine.
Just
You missed your
fine,
chance.
yeah.
You
Missed
really
out.
did
Missed
miss your
out.
chance.
Sorry, bad.
Everything happens for a reason. The right one came along who does
Yes.
like sour candy.
There we
There
go.
we go. There it is.
Yep.
There it is.
Anyways, Sour Patch Kids my favorite.
I will say I am not the biggest sour candy guy
Ooh,
in
interesting.
the world, so I will differ from you guys. I will say one of my favorite candies growing up. I have a couple because obviously I was a big kid, but
Okay.
Okay.
this one might be like a hot take, but I used to really like high chews.
Oh, I love high cheese.
I
Chews.
love
Yeah,
a
that's
good
so
high
good.
chew
Interesting.
because like it lasts for a long time and you can just
What's
it's
your
like-
favorite flavor?
Shoot. I haven't had them in a long time.
It's like strawberry, melon.
Melon, that's what it
yeah,
was.
that
I
melon's good.
love
It's like
melon.
Bologna.
That's a good
'cause-
flavor.
Yeah, I love melon flavored stuff. So like that one was definitely my go-to. And then do you guys, this is like as a childhood thing. Do you guys remember those like caramel apple lollipops?
Yeah.
That had like the caramel on the inside? That was one of my favorites. And then I just really love like, this is my top, because I think for Halloween I said Almond Joy and you guys hated me for it. The internet went crazy for that one, but
It went crazy.
nobody likes Almond Joys. I don't know why, but I love a good Crunch Bar because I
The
like
crunch is good.
I
Yeah,
like
it's
the-
okay
Okay.
to me.
I like the crispy rice in there. So
Oh, sure.
yeah. Sorry guys, I'm not a sour candy person, unfortunately.
It's okay. Not everyone is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when you find the right one,
Yeah.
you put a
That's
ring
how
on
you
it.
know.
Yep.
You put a
There it
ring
is.
on it.
There it is. So
Absolutely.
I hope you guys all enjoyed your Valentine's Day the way that we did. Right?
I mean, I did.
I think that's a good place, guys, to
Right there.
leave it off. Be sure to check out all of our other episodes. Thanks for watching this one, by the way. But to listen to this one or the other episodes, you can head to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get the rest of our HNN podcast. Video version on the HNN YouTube page. And Davis, Cienna, what else should they follow?
I think they should follow our Instagram, right, Kyle?
Yes,
I think
drop
they-
an
I think the
Insta.
person in charge of the Instagram is a great guy.
Oh, yeah, I think you're doing great too, Davis.
Oh, thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yes, we all handle the Instagram. We all have a say in what
Yes,
goes on it.
Sure.
But yes, that's HNN Overtime, no spaces, no upper lower case. It's not
We
your,
don't need those spaces.
It's not your login password. You don't need an extra exclamation point or a dash for that stuff. But HNN Overtime on Instagram. For Davis Pitner, Cienna Pilotin, I'm Chinen. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Aloha.
This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.